Many people think that sun, moon, and stars do not turn in the same direction, such that the moon is turning from the west to the east around the world, but it is thought that the world has returned to the west because it returns faster, whereas this prejudice is wrong. In fact, all objects, stars, moon, and sun are turning from east to west. Let's examine it together. Sun. This is the sun according to round model. As all we know that the sun moves from east to west. In this globus represent, the earth turns the opposite direction. As a result, sun moves through east to west. Moon. We see like the moon is rotating west to the east around the world. But there is a detail in the representation. The earth is rotating around itself west to the east, speeder than moon's rotating biangularly. So that, in fact, we see the moon moves from east to the west. As a result, moon moves through east to west. Stars. This video shows Polaris and other stars around it. Which direction of it? How many of you got it? Think about it. It sounds like turns around the earth with the direction of opposite of clockwise? Look it again. Okay. Considering you are looking it from down to up. But when we want to find out its rotating direction around the earth, should consider to look it from upper side. Now we find out it is rotating with clockwise, like all others are. As a result, stars move through east to west. As we have seen, all celestial bodies move from east to west. With this topic, we got the issue of east to west and clockwise is the same thing. Which one is the right side of the other, according to center of the earth, North Pole for globe inches? It is the eastern one. NASA's landing on the moon is a fake, and photos taken at so-called space are fake. Such that astronauts sometimes need to be in space, displayed in the studio in the world, sometimes suddenly disappearing in the International Space Station, sometimes displayed without gloves outside the station, and more other bullshits. The impulse of mass gravity independence of gravitational acceleration can be destroyed by the demonstration of a simple helium balloon. However, you rarely see it. And there are no laboratory tests related to the masses being mutually attracted. The power of vacuum is one of the most powerful within the known natural forces. It may seem low in theory, but it is practically high. You can carry a 300-pound glass with 2 vacuum holders in a hand size. But there is no answer to why the space that created the vacuum effect does not vacuum the atmosphere because it is a space. All objective observations made reveal that the world has no necessary curvature. Google Map and other maps can be destroyable by a compass, has cost of $1. The moon is seen in the daytime side of the world, and at the same time, it is seen in the back of the world at night, which is 180 degrees other side of the first point. The daytime and nighttime air temperature differences are proved by me, which is much more in the southern hemicycle than northern hemicycle. The reason for this difference is that the sun travels much more in the southern hemisphere and is closer to the surface than the northern hemisphere. The measurements with the sphere maps representing the northern hemisphere, this same one on the flat map representing the northern hemicycle, by same value. Maps containing the northern hemisphere are actually nonsenses. The distance between the 2 points to be selected from the northern hemisphere on a globe depicting the world is actually different. The data used in Google and Yandex are not taken from the round, but taken from the circle Earth map. The phrase, upholstering the earth as carpet, was used in Quran, and it was told that the devil had brought Jesus to a high mountain and showed all the kingdoms on the earth from there. If this argument is used well, it would be impossible for the pious of 2 billion Christians to deny it. Rain does not always rain in the cloudy weather. Sometimes it rains when there is no cloud, for there is water on the face of heaven. But they can hardly reach the surface, because the distance is long and the layers are different. Occasionally, it is raining because of the direct sky. There is nothing to say by popular fake scientists about this matter, except denying. Conservation of energy, no such thing as. When two waves in the opposite, from one over the other, the energies go down to zero. Speed of light, our work, shows that internet ping times, between some lines, are about 6 times faster than light speed. The speed limit of light is a bullshit. It cannot be explained by round model by the fact that the great earthquakes are located in the outer part of the world, on the Indonesia-Australia line, called the Oceania, in the outer world, according to the flat world model, and there are no earthquakes in the middle parts of the world. It should have a uniform distribution by the model of the round earth, but it isn't. We are always seeing the same face of the moon. Proves the moon is two-dimensional. The sun and the moon, first one is the source of the daylight, and the other one is the light of the night, have about same apparent size, can't be explainable by a 3D universe model. Actually, there is about infinity probability. The compass is constantly rotating at the exact North Pole, but such an experiment cannot be done in the South Pole, because there is no pole in the South. Old maps support flat Earth theory. The rate of increase in the number of believers in the flat Earth is also a strong evidence. According to this, in 2020, the entire world will believe in the flat Earth, because you cannot cover the facts with pressure. It will find a way for itself. Antarctica, ice-walled mountains surrounding our world. Every work done in the south direction to the end was not found. Most of the investigations have been stuck in the glaciers and have come back to the end. The place described as a pole is not a pole, and the compass still shows northward direction. Satellites cannot be observed from the ground, even though their location is obvious. Even, they do not appear in airplanes. Furthermore, the antenna in your roof does not have to turn in order to receive the broadcast of the satellite, which should turn around the Earth. The lack of satellites supports the flat Earth. From the United States, you can listen to a high-tune radio broadcast from Turkey, while the maximum distance the radio signal could reach was around 100 miles in a round world. The sky is blue. The answer is straightforward in the flat world. How the ocean is blue? Because the color of the water is blue. But because it contradicts the nonsense of the earthy as being round, it tells light breaking, color absorption, and so on. When you look at the clouds, the airplane, or the ocean, the light is not broken or absorbed. We can continue, but these arguments are enough to you for a good debate. This study was designed to be a guide for researchers of this theory.